Organizations applying for Singapore Quality Class Certification and Singapore Quality Award are assessed based on the Holistic Business Excellence Standard. Organizations are assessed on 7 categories. 1. Leadership. 2. Customers. 3. Strategy. 4. People. 5. Processes. 6. Knowledge. And 7. Results. This is the scoring system for the assessment. Each category gives indication of a group of excellence attributes. For each of the category, there are 2 to 4 subcategories. Each subcategory is allocated a point value, which add up to the total points for that category. Now, let's look in detail at the assessment criteria for one of the categories. Let's use the leadership category as an example. Under the leadership category, there are 3 subcategories. 1.1 Senior Leadership, 1.2 Organization Culture, 1.3 Corporate Governance and Social Responsibility. The Senior Leadership subcategory measures how senior leaders guide the organization to achieve and sustain excellence, and it has a point value of 50 points. There are 3 requirements for this subcategory. It describes how the organization's senior management A. Develops the organization's mission, vision, and values and communicates them to key stakeholders. B. Engages key stakeholders to drive the organization's performance. C. Acts as role models and grooms future leaders. For subcategory 1.2, Organization Culture. It describes how the organization develops a culture that is consistent with its values and encourages learning, innovation, as well as the achievement of strategic goals. The 3 requirements for this subcategory describe how the organization A. Develops a culture that supports the organization's mission, vision, and values to drive growth. B. Translates values into desired employee behaviors to enable innovation, learning, and achieve the organization's goals. C. Embraces organizational changes for sustainability. Point value is 40 points. In subcategory 1.3, Corporate Governance and Social Responsibility, the point value is 30 points. It describes how the organization maintains a governance system that practices good corporate citizenship, protects the interests of stakeholders, and fulfills its responsibility to the community and the environment it operates in. There are 2 requirements which describe how the organization A. Establishes a governance system to ensure accountability and transparency, and B. Implements policies and involves stakeholders to contribute to the community and the environment. As you can see, the point value for each of the subcategories total up to 120 points for the leadership category. The detailed assessment criteria for each of the 7 categories can be found in the Enterprise Singapore Business Excellence Framework document. You can find a copy of this document in this learning capsule. You can also download the latest version from the URL indicated here. Next, let's look at the scoring rubric. Organizations need to provide objective, quantifiable responses to address the criteria requirements. Assessors use a 3-dimensional scoring system to evaluate 1. The approaches adopted by an organization to drive performance. 2. The deployment of the approaches throughout the organization. And 3. The results achieved within the organization and with its external stakeholders. This is the scoring rubric for category 1 to 6. We will take the lower of the 2 scores for approach and deployment. This is the scoring rubric for Category 7, Results. We will take the lower of the 2 scores for reporting of results and performance levels. Now that you have an understanding of the assessment criteria and scoring system, in the next e-learning capsule, we will introduce the Business Excellence Self-Diagnostic Tool, and you will practice applying the scoring system.